June 7th, and the tree has finally bloomed, along with the dandelions and everything else in the countryside. I've set our builders up a little different this year. Basically, all I'm doing this year is just making up some queenless nukes with a lot of bees, and we're running a graft through it before we drop a queen cell into it and have them turn into a hive themselves. We have 45 cells starting in here, and it looks like it's a pretty good take. So that's the start. How much syrup do we have in there, I wonder?
One I would consider not having been started. Oh no, never mind. That's a 400.
100% catch?
Yep.
Good. We'll give them a little more syrup. There's a lot of bees in there, a lot of young bees, a lot of brood to tear down the queen cells and such. We'll get them to start this. We're going to get them to just about finish it, and then once we pull these cells out, we're going to take this nuke out to the yard, drop one of these queen cells in there, and just let them go. And then use all those cells for some further splits. As we make our way through this next equalization round, we're going to be continually making up some builders for us like this. That's a little bit different than what I've been doing. We're just trying to, we don't have a lot of bulk bees is the problem. And we work through an entire yard, and this is all we can skim. We worked through this one this morning, and there's only 3 frames of brood in here with bees. So we're not heavy into cell production this year. We'll just kind of stagger ourselves along and get what we need. We have a full bee working crew now. The field crew, they have 300-400 acres left, so they should be able to punch that in the next few days before the rain. And it gives us time to focus on these bees again. Before we get into any real split work, we have to go around and equalize our colonies. What I have going on in the yards are the mergers. They've been queen checked. They're ready to go. They're at about 3 frames of brood now, but I have about a week's time on them. And then we have colonies that we just simply doubled up because they're too strong. They're sporting around that 2.5 frames of brood. So when the graft cells come ready, we'll be taking these off as splits in about a week or so. Right now we're going through and I'm identifying the small ones, which I mark with a frame out, and the large ones, which we didn't double up because they weren't quite big enough at the time, but they need to be taken down, otherwise they're going to swarm on us, and I don't want to put a box on top of them because that just screws all my timing up. So what we're doing is we're taking a frame of brood and 2 shakes of bees from these big ones and donating a frame of brood and 2 shakes of bees to these smaller ones. Just kind of even things out. So it's taken us quite a while, and things look all right. I don't know. They're coming along. How's that hive look, Carrie?
Really good. I just have to find it.
We are doing the hunt and search for these queens, so it's taking a bit of time, but we have 3 eyes finding queens, and that makes work a little quicker. Is there a good frame that we can pull out? We're starting to shake that tough nest, which is nice to see, finally. There we go. Look at that. That's what she's supposed to be doing. We're doing that on fresh nectar and fresh pollen, and a lot of bees. There's that tough nature of that old nest yet. They're just shaking it out. We're going to be seeing sheets of brood. We'll be seeing sheets of brood in no time here. And look at the pollen. frames of pollen. I'll put the supplements aside. We are on the fresh stuff. Some of these colonies are a little bit hungry, but we have nectar flow. What do we have? We have dandelions out, we have saskatoons still out, we have choke cherries out, wild plums just finished. What else is in bloom?
Well, there's apple trees.
Oh, of course, apple trees. Apple trees, ornamental apple, all the fruit trees are out. That's that scent in the air, just a beautiful scent. Just absolutely delicious pollen. We have spurge, accursed spurge is coming out, and we are just seeing buds on alfalfa and clover. So I doubt we're going to be feeding again. We're just going to be stepping our way right into a progressive flow until finally this canola, which is just being planted now, is going to be extremely late. We should be all right to step us right into that canola flow, and hopefully we'll be all right. That late canola seeding is going to be to our advantage this year, as we have a lot of smaller type units. We're making our equalization round, and we're having a tough time scraping together a nuke from every yard we go through. We've been falling the last 3 yards, we fall into a deficit of a nuke actually. So we're just scraping by.
Wait a second, I found her. And yes, I did.
See? Where?
She's in the bottom left.
That's a pretty queen. See what kind of work she's been doing. See the other side? Whoa.
And actually, this is probably the best frame.
We'll donate that one. Here,
Yeah.
what I'll do, let's see here, I'll put her into okay, take you that and donate it to that colony. Maybe clean the bottom of that frame. She's getting impatient in my hand. It's a good little boost. And use this as your funnel.
Okay, how many?
Let's give him 2 shakes. There's a good shake there outside already. Quick work when you have 3. A lot of bees on that one. Yeah, looks good. Actually, let's give him 3 shakes.
Okay.
Good. Let's put this one back
This
in.
one I
No.
found from the outside.
Oh, good. Good empty one in the center. And I'll drop her majesty back in. Can you tighten the frames up?
Yep.
How much honey does this colony have?
It was alright.
Good. Nice little boost. Very young bees. done this yard.